Welcome to the deep dive. It's funny, we can tackle incredibly complex problems at work, figure out all sorts of intellectual challenges, but then there's sleep. It feels like it should be the simplest thing, right? Just close your eyes. But for so many of us, it's become this real struggle, almost an elusive goal. So today, that's what we're diving into, sleep. It seems basic, but it's profoundly important. And honestly, we often misunderstand how it works and how we mess it up. We're looking at some really insightful ideas from The Sleep Solution, Reclaiming Rest Naturally, by Dr. Chris Winter, who's a neurologist and, importantly, a sleep specialist. Our mission here is to understand why our sleep often feels so broken and, crucially, how we might actually reclaim it naturally. We're talking about shifting our thinking and habits, not just, reaching for a quick fix.
Yeah, and what's so interesting about Dr. Winter's approach, I think, is that he's not just giving tips, he's really asking us to fundamentally rethink what sleep even is. He challenges some core assumptions we all tend to have.
Okay, let's start with the biggest one. Most of us think, I'm tired, so I need sleep to stop feeling tired. Simple cause and effect. But Dr. Winter says that's missing the bigger picture, doesn't he? What's the real biological purpose he points to?
He absolutely does. It's much more than just an antidote to feeling weary. He defines sleep as this active, crucial biological state. Yes, it replenishes daily energy, but it's also when vital cell repair happens. Your immune system recalibrates, your brain clears out metabolic waste stuff that builds up when you're awake. Hormones get rebalanced. It's like a full system maintenance cycle. So without it, it's not just physical weakness. We become mentally and emotionally off balance too. Our cognitive functions take a real hit.
Right, and that mental side, Dr. Winter really emphasizes it's not just about being a bit grumpy, is it? What actually happens to our thinking when we're sleep deprived?
It's pretty significant. He points to things like impaired decision-making. You just don't think as clearly. Concentration suffers, especially on tasks needing focus. And emotional regulation, that goes out the window. You get that short fuse, increased irritability. It's your brain basically operating with a major handicap. Affects everything.
Which leads us right into our modern world, doesn't it? This constant pressure work, social media pings, screens everywhere, grabbing caffeine to keep going. Dr. Winter argues this isn't just happening alongside our sleep problems, it's actively undermining our biology.
Precisely. He argues our sleep is fundamentally disrupted because we've started living against our body's own natural clock, the circadian rhythm. That internal 24-hour cycle telling us when to be awake and when to wind down. So if your body is signaling time for bed around, say, 10 p.m., but you're pushing through, scrolling on your phone or working until 1 a.m., you're actively fighting that rhythm.
Yeah.
And that fight doesn't just make you tired the next day, it messes with your metabolism, things like how your body handles sugar, it suppresses melatonin, it even weakens your immune response. It's a whole cascade.
And there's that weird productivity paradox, isn't there, where we sometimes wear late nights like a badge of honor, pulled an all-nighter, got so much done. Dr. Winter suggests that's, kind of an illusion, right?
Totally an illusion. He'd say it's incredibly counterproductive in the long run. That burst of getting things done is often just adrenaline, maybe caffeine, but it comes at a huge biological cost. The quality of the work might dip, and you're building up this physiological debt that has serious health knock-on effects. It just doesn't add up.
Okay, so if our lifestyles are actively fighting against sleep, how much can we actually do about it? This brings us to maybe Dr. Winter's most eye-opening point. You simply cannot force sleep. We're always told to try harder, but here, that's precisely the wrong thing.
Exactly the wrong thing. And this is such a crucial shift in thinking. When you're lying there thinking, oh no, if I don't sleep now, that meeting tomorrow is ruined, or this is so bad for my health, you're actually generating stress.
Yeah.
Mental stress, performance anxiety about sleep itself. And what does that stress do? It triggers your fight or flight response, which ironically tells your body not to produce melatonin, the very hormone you need to fall asleep. So the harder you try, the more awake you become. It's a real trap.
Wow, that really flips things. So sleep is an output, something that happens as a result of other things, not an input you can just decide to have. You can't make it happen, only create the conditions for it to happen, set the stage, like you said.
That's exactly right. And that connects to another key idea from Dr. Winter. Often, the biggest obstacles are expectation. The more we lie down expecting instant, deep, perfect sleep, the more pressure we create. And that pressure itself blocks sleep. It becomes this self-fulfilling prophecy of frustration.
Okay, so if forcing it is out, how do we invite it? How do we send that stage properly? This must be where his concept of sleep hygiene comes in. And for him, it sounds like it's more than just having clean sheets, right?
Oh, much more. He's very specific about creating an environment truly conducive to rest. Key things he lists are quiet room, obviously, and dark, really dark, any light. can disrupt things. Temperature is also vital. He suggests aiming for somewhere between 18 and 20 degrees Celsius, slightly cool, helps your body initiate sleep. A comfortable, clean bed, of course. But maybe the non-negotiable he stresses most, distance from screens before bed.
The screens. Yeah, I know I'm guilty of the late night scroll. It feels almost automatic. That rule he has at least an hour screen-free feels radical,
Yeah.
almost. What's the specific problem with screens, and how does he suggest breaking that habit? Because it's tough.
It really is tough, but the science is clear. It's the blue light. Our devices blast out this particular wavelength, and our brain interprets it as daylight. Strong signal, stay awake.
Hmm.
So even if it's 11 p.m., looking at your phone is basically telling your brain it's midday, which shuts down melatonin production right when you need it most.
Mm.
His advice is firm. Minimum 1 hour, ideally more, completely screen-free. If that feels impossible, start smaller, 30 minutes. Find a replacement ritual. Read a physical book. Listen to something calming, gentle stretching, just quiet time. It's about consciously signaling day over to your brain.
Makes sense. And what about other things we might do in the evening? That late afternoon coffee or maybe a glass of wine to relax? How do they fit into Dr. Winter's picture?
It's pretty clear on those, too. Caffeine, for instance. Lots of people say, oh, coffee after dinner doesn't affect me. But the half-life is long, like 6 to 8 hours, so that 5 p.m. coffee, half of it could still be actively stimulating your brain at 11 p.m., even if you don't feel wired. It prevents that necessary winding down. And alcohol, yeah, it might make you feel sleepy initially, help you nod off faster, but it severely messes up the quality of your sleep later in the night. It fragments sleep, suppresses REM sleep, which is vital for memory and emotion, leads to more awakenings. So you might be unconscious for hours, but you wake up feeling unrefreshed because it wasn't restorative sleep.
That difference between just being unconscious and getting actual restorative sleep seems critical, which I guess brings us to another solution people try. Sleeping pills. I imagine many listeners have thought about them, maybe during a really stressful patch, just for a quick fix. What's Dr. Winter's take?
His view is quite stark. He explains that most common sleeping pills don't actually give you natural sleep. They induce sedation. It's an artificial state of unconsciousness. And this artificial state really disrupts the natural sleep architecture, those crucial cycles of REM and deep sleep. Deep sleep is for physical repair, REM for mental processing. You need both. So while pills might seem to solve the immediate problem of being awake, they can create dependency. Your body forgets how to sleep naturally. His strong advice is to focus on the habits, the environment, the mindset, address the root causes, don't just mask the symptom with sedation.
Right, you want real sleep, not
Yeah.
just being knocked out. Okay, another big belief. The magic 8 hours. Is that actually a thing? Do we all need exactly 8 hours?
He pretty definitively says no, that's largely a myth, and actually a source of anxiety for many people. He emphasizes that sleep needs are highly individual. They vary based on genetics, age, how active you are, your lifestyle. Some people genuinely feel great and function perfectly on 6.5 hours. Others need 7.5, maybe even 9. The real measure, he argues, isn't the clock. It's how you feel when you wake up and during the day. Are you refreshed, alert, functioning well? Then your sleep duration was likely sufficient for you. Obsessing over hitting that arbitrary 8-hour mark can just add more pressure, which, as we know, is counterproductive.
Okay, so let's say you're doing all the right things. Dark room, no screens, avoided caffeine, you feel relatively calm. You're still just lying there, wide awake. What then? That's the really frustrating bit.
Yeah, and this is where his advice feels a bit counterintuitive, but apparently it's very effective. His main point is, don't just lie there trying and getting frustrated, because that teaches your brain to associate your bed with anxiety and wakefulness, not sleep. Instead, he says, get up.
No.
Leave the bedroom. Do something quiet, non-stimulating. Read a boring book under dim light. Listen to soft music. Maybe just sit quietly. Only go back to bed when you actually feel sleepy again. That wave of drowsiness hits you. It helps break that negative association and retrains your brain. Bed is for sleeping, not for worrying about sleeping.
Break the cycle. So pulling this all together, the core message from Dr. Winter seems really clear. You can't bully yourself into sleeping. You have to invite it. It's a natural process that will happen if you just create the right conditions.
Absolutely. It boils down to cultivating the right mindset, letting go of that pressure and fear, establishing the right habits, working with your body clock, avoiding those known disruptors, and creating the right environment, that quiet, dark, cool sanctuary. There isn't one magic bullet because it's about consistency, patience, and fundamentally trusting your body's ability to sleep if you just give it the proper chance and respect the process.
So here's something to think about. If sleep really is an output, something that results from everything else, What one small change could you make to your daily inputs starting tonight? What single adjustment might send a clearer, more welcoming invitation for sleep to arrive naturally? Maybe think about your own expectations, your own habits around winding down. That's our deep dive for today.